All right, today we are diving into a really powerful AI design pattern. It's one that's totally changing how we can find breakthrough ideas. It's called exploration and discovery, and it's all about turning AI into like a world-class researcher.
I mean, just think about it for a second. We are all absolutely swimming in a sea of data, right? Articles, research papers, you name it, and trying to find that one truly new insight, the one that could actually lead to a breakthrough. It feels like looking for a needle in a haystack the size of a planet. So how on earth do you even begin to tackle a problem like that?
Okay, here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you've got a super intern. Seriously, this intern needs no sleep, can read an entire library in basically a split second. And here's the most important part. It has this incredible knack for spotting not just what everyone else is talking about, but what's truly promising. This is the whole idea behind the pattern we're going to unpack today.
So this super intern isn't just a fun concept. We're talking about a very specific type of AI design pattern. It's called an agentic pattern. Now, agentic is just a fancy way of saying the AI can act on its own to get something done. And in this case, its mission is to go out and find something genuinely new and valuable.
And that brings us to the formal name, exploration and discovery. The key phrase here, the one you really want to lock onto, is full research mission. See, this isn't just you typing a question into a search bar. Not even close. The AI is given a goal, and then it has the freedom to explore, to analyze, and to basically chart its own course to find those really novel ideas.
So where does a mission like this even start? Well, just like any good researcher, the first thing the AI has to do is understand the terrain. This whole initial phase is all about mapping the entire knowledge space, just to see what's already out there.
The process itself is super logical when you break it down. First, the AI gets its assignment, the research goal. Then, it casts this absolutely massive net, exploring pretty much everything related to that goal. And as it's gathering all this info, it doesn't just create some giant messy list. No, it starts to see patterns and groups related ideas into themes. It's basically creating a detailed map of everything we already know.
And what's really wild here is the sheer scale we're talking about. This knowledge space isn't just a few blog posts. We're talking about everything. Super dense academic papers, complex data sets, direct input from human experts, and these enormous documents that would take a person weeks, maybe months to read and understand. The AI just soaks it all up.
And now we get to what is maybe the most critical part of this whole thing. This is what separates this pattern from just a really fancy search engine. It's what we call the agentic leap. It's that moment when the AI goes beyond simply collecting information and actually makes a strategic decision.
This quote just nails it. A normal tool might give you a summary of all the things it found, but this pattern, it's about so much more. The AI doesn't just report back on what it learned. It evaluates everything and decides which of these paths are actually worth digging into further.
So you're probably wondering, how does it decide? Well, it uses something called selection criteria. The best way to think about this is like a rubric or a scorecard that you give the AI to grade every single potential idea. It's not just a random guess. It's a calculated judgment based on rules you set. You might tell it to ask, how new is this idea? What's the potential impact on the market? Or is this even scientifically possible?
This slide makes the difference so clear. On the left, you've got your simple summary. It just kind of dumps everything out. But on the right, that's the strategic focus. The AI uses its selection criteria, things like a novelty score or potential impact, to filter out all the noise and zero in only on the leads that look the most promising. The critical difference is that it prioritizes. It makes a choice.
Okay, so after all that work, the mapping, the deep analysis, that crucial agentic leap, we get to the final output. What do you actually get at the end of all this? What are the tangible results?
So the output here isn't just some boring report. The AI produces genuinely valuable assets. This could be a perfectly curated data set, all cleaned up and organized around a brand new discovery. Or it might even be a totally new conceptual model, a whole new way of thinking about the problem, all backed up by the data it analyzed. These are actual tools you can build on.
And hey, this isn't just some theory. Look at where it's being used. In R&D, it's an incredible tool for sparking innovation. For businesses, it can run a competitive analysis so detailed, it finds gaps in the market that no human has ever spotted. And in science, it's being used for unbelievably complex things, like drug discovery. It's a super versatile pattern for almost any kind of deep research project.
But of course, a tool this powerful is going to come with some trade-offs.
It's really important to get a clear picture of both the incredible benefits and the very real costs of using a pattern like this. On the plus side, the benefits are massive. Because the AI agent itself is figuring out the most valuable path forward, it can lead to true, unexpected innovation. It's an amazing discovery tool. But the cons are real. This kind of process is resource-heavy. We're talking high usage of generative AI, which can get expensive. And depending on the goal, it might not be the fastest process, because it still involves that huge initial step of shifting through massive documents.
So we'll end on this thought. This AI pattern automates the exploration, and it even makes a strategic choice about where we should focus our attention. But it's still guided by the goals and the criteria that we humans set. Which raises this really fascinating question for the future. As AI takes on more and more of the discovery process, how does our role as thinkers, as researchers, as creators, evolve right alongside it? What's that next frontier for human-AI collaboration really look like? Thanks for watching.